Hey, all right. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is my first little episode, if you will, of Thursday Chats. So, my vision for Thursday Chats is just to share with you some tips. Maybe it's going to be. Sorry, the dog's yawning. Maybe it's going to be tips for, like today, things you can do to build your self-confidence. Other days, it might be tips for other small business owners. So really, it's kind of just a chance for me to share other aspects of my life with all of you. And so today, like I said, I just kind of want to share some things that you can do to build your self-confidence. Self-confidence, for a lot of people, is very difficult because it may be how you grew up, where you grew up, things that you heard people say about you, or that you're never going to be able to do that, or you're not good enough to do that, or you're not smart enough to do that. And the problem is, after you hear this once or twice or many times over your life, you start to believe it yourself, and you start to have all these self-limiting doubts. And I am extremely guilty of this myself. And every time I start doubting myself, I have to remind myself that I'm wrong. Yes, I can do this. This Saturday, for example, have a race. It's a 10K race. I've done a 10K race before, but for some reason, I'm having doubts about it this weekend. I think maybe partly because it's a part trail run, part pavement run. And so I think maybe that's part of the issue. But each time I catch myself saying, oh, this is going to be hard, this is going to suck, I have to tell myself, no, Julie, you can do this. You just ran 7 miles last weekend. This race isn't even that far. Like, you have to find ways to boost yourself up. And so one thing that I would definitely encourage you to do every day is to think of something, one thing, every day that you like about yourself. It could be that you are a kind person. It could be that you are good at public speaking, or that you are a fast typer on the computer. Whatever the case is, once a day, tell yourself something new that you like about yourself. So you don't want to be repeating the same thing over and over every day. That's a great way just to help you build self-confidence, because you see a lot of people talk about, have self-confidence, feel proud of yourself. Well, how do you do those things? Because if you don't already feel that way about yourself, how can you get that way and feel that way about yourself? So I think telling yourself one thing about yourself that you like every day, preferably when you first get up in the morning, it really helps start your day off in a good way. So today, when I woke up and I finally got out of bed this morning, it takes me a little bit, one thing that I said that I liked about myself was my commitment to being physically fit. I'm not perfect, still got a ways to go to be where I want to be, but overall I'm happy with it, and I am happy about myself and my motivation to stick with it, because it takes a while to get results, of course. So that was one thing that I told myself today that I liked about myself, was that I was committed to being, physically fit and just healthy in general. So, that would be one challenge for you. Another thing that you can do to help build your self-confidence, and I know that some of you are definitely going to find this cheesy, but it would be to get some sort of self-help book. Now, hear me out on this. I used to think they were cheesy as well, but sometimes you just need to hear it from somebody else that you can do this. Whatever this is, whatever goal you're trying to reach, you can do it. It might take time. It might not be 2 days. It might be 2 years. It might be 10 years before you can reach that goal. But if it's a goal of yours and you stick with it and you have a plan and you modify that plan along the way to continue, with the changing environment, you can reach your goals. And so self-help books really are something that I enjoy reading. One of my favorite ones, you guys see the quotes from my calendar all the time, is You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. Like, I love that book because she really puts it to you and makes you think and makes you hold yourself accountable for your life. And that is important when you are searching for self-confidence and ways that you can gain self-confidence and have love for yourself. Another thing I would suggest is embracing your flaws. Nobody is perfect. I certainly have a handful or more of flaws, and that's who I am though. Nobody's perfect, and until you embrace your flaws and realize that, you're going to struggle with self-confidence. Making mistakes is not necessarily a bad thing. It just means that you're trying and you're learning, whatever those mistakes may be. So that's just another thing that I think is important to realize, that you have to embrace your flaws in your life and about yourself, and you have to accept those. And then once you do that, then you can decide if this is something that you want to change, if you are willing to accept it and continue to live your life that way. And that's okay too. I mean, if there's something about yourself that, you think is a flaw, but you know what, it's not that big of a deal, or you accept that part of you and that's just how you are, great. Accept it and move on. Another thing that I think is important to know is that, and this is a hard one, especially for me, other people's opinions of you shouldn't matter. What other people think of you is none of your business, because everyone has an opinion about something and somebody, and what people think of you is none of your business. Continue moving on with your life. Don't worry about what other people think. Make decisions that make you happy, that are good for you, are healthy for you, and that will end up coming full circle. You will feel better about yourself, and you will gain that self-confidence that you're looking for. So those are just, I guess, probably 4 different ways that you can do things in your life to build self-confidence. And that very first one is to start your day with a positive thought about yourself and say it out loud. Say it in the mirror to yourself. You probably think I'm cheesy. I don't care. Like, that's fine. Oh, that's the dogs. Like, over here it's reverse sneezing. He's over here having a little episode. Hey, that's the joy of, say from home and the distractions, right? So yeah, that is the one thing you can definitely do every morning. Say something nice about yourself, something that you like about yourself. Preferably say it in the mirror to yourself. And like I said, I know you think that's super cheesy, but it works. Another thing, get a self-help book that you really like. Again, you probably think that's cheesy, but it helps. It helps you feel better about yourself, and it can really help you put things in perspective in your life and help you take responsibility for things in your life. And then, like I said, another couple things. Don't worry about what other people think of you. Their opinions are none of your business. Continue moving on with your life and doing what you do to make you happy. And then, lastly, embrace your flaws. They are part of you. Nobody is perfect. So embrace that part of you. And if it's something about yourself that bothers you, recognize that and then figure out what you're going to do to change that. So those are just some tips that I have for you. If you found this beneficial at all, feel free to share it out. If you want, drop a comment. Tell me where you're tuning in from. I always love to kind of hear where people are from and what they're doing that day, whatever. And now I'm going to go ahead and end this, and I'm going to go out to the kitchen and make myself some lunch and get this crazy cat off of my chair. Hey, buddy. All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye.